Alright guys, sorry about the wind noise, but there's something I need to show you here. Here's the beach, and we're looking back in towards Pensacola Beach. There's the city in the background there. Millions and millions of dollars worth of property there. And here we are on the beach. This is kind of like a little roadway along the beach where ATVs and small vehicles go. Now I'm going to pan over this open expanse of sand. And as I do that, you'll see my little sled in the background there. There it is. I just walked from there over to here. And what you see out there in that plain between where I'm standing here and that area is there's thousands of tiny little tar balls, thousands of them. This is a mile back from Fort Pickens towards Pensacola Beach. I'm gradually working my way back into town. And I'm gonna go over there and start showing you the tar balls. It won't take us long. Ta-da, there's a tar ball. What's next? Here's a tar ball. I'm just going to collect them as I go walking back towards the car until my hand's full. A few more steps and field of tar balls. Those are all tar balls. Pick up a few tar balls for our tar ball collection. A little algae, a little shit, some seashells. Oh, look, tar balls. Here's some more tar balls. We're a little closer to the truck. About halfway between the water and the truck now. Oh, what do we got? More tar balls. There we go, some more tar balls. And we're walking, and we're walking. Oh, here's another tar ball. See, this area is damp from high tide. Now, high tide happens, it brings that stuff in, and it just lays there. Well, we're almost back to the truck. I think we're done finding tar balls. One of the cleanup stations. The beach here, when I went by, was closed. It looks like they've opened it back up, but this is where they stage their cleanup efforts as well. This is where the oil waste ends up at the end of the day. If you look, they have little berms set up underneath it, and I'm sure that there's all the oily sand and oily residue that they've collected today hanging out right in there. And I'm sure it's just like a sanitation project now where they just come in and pick it up, drag it off. We'll go take a look at this beach and see if it's any cleaner than the last two I was at. Alright, we're down the beach another, oh I don't know, 2 miles. Those little specks are all tar balls. You see we're getting closer into the city. Starting to see buildings there. They're smaller and not as plentiful, but they're all over here. This is what gets past their little tools. Those little guys right there. And that is everywhere. It's everywhere I look. There's more. Hundreds of them. That's looking back down the beach line. Gentleman I just spoke to walking the beach says that's everywhere. Everywhere down the whole line. So it looks clean when you're going by 70 miles an hour. But as you walk over to it, you start seeing discoloration. That discoloration is evidence of tar balls. Go a little further, tar ball. That's everywhere. Everywhere down the whole beach. Hey, spent a little time with Gregg Hall today, and if you don't mind, Greg, could you tell us where we're at right now?
Well, we're right here at the end of the public beach. When you go down that way just a little bit, you go into the Fort Pickens National Park. Where we walked into is actually going into the park property. We're right at the end of the public beach property.
So that's federal land back there.
Right.
And what are we looking at right here, Greg?
Well, this is just some of the oil and tar that you picked up, on our walk, and you can see it's still very moist and gooey. And that's the stuff you dug out of that erosion line, which that erosion line goes down the whole beach. And
sure does. I've seen it a mile down,
yeah.
2 miles down, 5 miles down.
It goes up from the water line probably 30 or 40 feet at least into the beach. So you think you're just walking on sand, but what's underneath the sand is all this.
And would you say this is the most contaminated area on Pensacola?
Oh, it's definitely by far the most contaminated area in Florida. And from what I've seen driving all the way down to Grand Isle, Louisiana, I haven't seen anybody's beaches that got hit the way ours did. The marshes and stuff in Louisiana and parts of Mississippi got hit pretty bad, but as far as beach-wise, I haven't seen another beach that was covered like ours was.
Well, I'll tell you what, until you showed me this stuff, this section of beach, out of all the stuff I've seen today, this is by far the worst. By far the worst that I've seen.
Well, like I said, this is 2 months later, if you'd have been here when it happened, it'd have blew your mind, as far as you could see, it was just solid brown and black, and not any breaks in it at all. It just looked like somebody just came and poured chocolate on the whole beach all the way down.
Well, I'll agree with you. It's still there.
Yeah.
It's still there. Well, thanks for sharing with us, Greg.
You're welcome, man.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, sir.